Hello everyone, my name is Zo, and in this video I just want to showcase to you guys how I plan to take my Toxic Rain Pathfinder, with whom I just completed the campaign with, and turn it into a magicfind character that will be able to easily farm tier 16 maps and the first 2 void stones, while keeping its cost on the low side, because this is a league starter after all. Step 1. Get the character ready for white maps. As you guys can see, and maybe if you checked out the earlier video, you know that I finished the campaign with some crappy gear, just stuff that I found. I didn't buy anything. Max, I crafted some resistances and life here and there, or attack speed on this bow. I have managed to get 5 chaos orbs during the campaign, so I decided to go on and get some upgrades. Now, I do not finish the campaign in the first 3-4 hours. It usually takes me around 6. And usually by the time I finish the campaign, these items are cheap. And I'm talking about the uniques I'm planning to use, which is a Devoto's Devotion. The rolls don't matter. This should be like 1 Chaos Orb, a Gold Worm. If it's not 20% increased quantity, it doesn't cost a lot. So this is another 1 Chaos item. A Parandus Blazon belt. This is another 1C item. You can easily exchange this for any other belt if you want to. You can easily exchange all these uniques for just normal rare gear. They are not mandatory, but they are just the thing I will choose to, start leveling with, start the white maps with, because some extra quantity just doesn't hurt, right? Another thing I bought was the bow. I was looking for the +2 level of socketed bow gems. We don't really need it. If it's too expensive at the beginning for you, just buy a +1 level of socketed bow gems, or a +1 all socketed gems bow. Both are great. Just make sure it has attack speed or it has an open suffix so you can craft the attack speed. I also bought a quiver just to fill up my resistances with some extra fire, lightning res and damage on bows, and again an empty suffix for attack speed. If you could get a quiver with a dot multi for attacks on it, it's even better, but usually those are a bit more expensive early league, so a quiver like this is 1C easily. Another item that I bought were these gloves. As you guys can see, nothing crazy on them, not even attack speed. They just have some life and resistances that I needed. The chest piece and the jewelry are still the same that I found while leveling, so I did not have to buy these this time. Flasks, I used some alterations on them so I can get some charge recovery or reduce charge used. It's nothing crazy. I did not like min-max my flasks just yet. They don't even have quality or anything. I'm still using 2 life flasks at the beginning, an instant one and one of these recovery ones with increased amount recovered. This gear I think should easily help me get through white maps and even yellow maps, and farm myself some pretty cool upgrades for red maps, because that is the big step we're gonna take whenever we're getting close to tier 11 red maps. We're gonna need to have our character upgraded a bit. So yeah, gonna go level this character. Because it's a test character, I'm gonna level it as a league start scenario. I will not even add Atlas passive points. I'll do the leveling all live on YouTube, so you guys can come see how I progress if you wish to, or just check out the VOD and see how the build performs in white and yellow maps. I'll be back in a bit with phase 2 of the character planner after I level a bit up and buy myself some upgrades. And I'm back at level 83 after I have done quite a lot of white and yellow maps. And yeah, after I bought some upgrades. Now, what I have to say is that I did not buy all these upgrades just now at 83. I have bought a lightning coil earlier because I felt I needed the defense it provided. So whenever I started doing tier 7 maps or so, I bought a lightning coil together with 2 rings and equipped a topaz flask. Now, you can do this upgrade whenever you gather like 40 chaos, because that is how much it kind of should cost you at the beginning of the league, like 2 rings with some decent cold and lightning resin rife and life and a 4-link lightning coil. That is how much it should cost you. It should not be more expensive than that. After I equipped this coil, it was cruising like through all of the yellow maps. The game was the gameplay was pretty good until later on in like tier 10 and tier 11, where the damage starts to slow down a bit, and that is why the next upgrade is gonna be the bow, which should cost you at least 60 chaos, if not like closer to 100, because you will need a porcupine bow and craft it with the dread essences that give the plus to level of socketed bow gems. You can, if you want to min-max, like buy multiple of them and try to hit the +1 level of socketed gems. Or if you wanna stay on the cheaper side, you can just buy 1 or 2 and throw the level of socketed bow gems and hit an empty suffix and craft attack speed. And this should be your bow. This is like a really big upgrade compared to this older one. So yeah, that is why we have to gather a bit of chaos. But if we do the chaos recipe, and that is what I'm planning to do, I am planning to do the chaos recipe early on, I should be able to do them in yellow maps, like to get my porcupine bow yellow maps without any issues. Okay, the next upgrade is kind of a cheap one, but maybe if you can find a cheap quiver like this with damage over time multiplier, just go for it. This should be like a 1020C quiver. It has no other mods on it than the damage over time multiplier, some resist, the damage with bows, and some life. That's it. The next upgrade is gonna be the gloves. Compared to this other one, it just has more life, more resistances, and of course attack speed. Now this one, it has tier 1 attack speed. You can go for a lower tier for if you don't have the money and you want it to be a bit cheaper. These gloves should put you behind like 40-60 chaos or so. The next upgrade is to change my amulet, which only had some life resistant attributes on it, because I only need int right now. I took a lapis amulet and I went for the damage over time multiplier. Now this is a tier 2 one, but it's high roll, and an amulet like this should put you down behind like 40, 50, 60 chaos or so. And I went, because I had some oils, I allocated Heart of Darkness. You can allocate this, or you can allocate Corruption. Both of them are great. So yeah, make sure to anoint your amulet. Next, and the last thing I upgraded on my character was my life flask. The upgrade was basically that I qualityed it. It's still only a tier 4 like recovery roll on it, so it's not that great. I will need to update it even more whenever I get closer to tier 16s, but for now this is pretty good one. Quality on the life flask just gives more life recovered, so definitely do that as soon as possible. You don't have to wait as the last upgrade. You can do it whenever you can, as fast as possible. Alright, this is how the build it is right now. I really think these items are achievable whilst whenever you start getting into red maps. If you're not rushing red maps, like have more than 50-60 completion while getting into red maps, you should have the currency to buy all these items just from Chaos Receipt and from the drops you find. I did not find any divine at the moment while mapping. The biggest drop was, I think, was an exalted orb or something, and that's about it. So yeah, gonna go do some more maps, get closer to level 90, and then we're gonna showcase an Ether and an Exile kill. I don't know if I will upgrade my character even more. We will see. Maybe I'll get some better flasks, and that's about it. So I'll see you guys around level 90. And I'm back again to summarize the build. As you guys could see, we could easily do tier 16 maps with this build. Even though I'm only level 88, my gems are not level 20. They're level 20 because of the +1 of the bow over here, but other than that, they're level 19. They are not qualityed. So all this gear is totally acquirable by the time you reach high red maps and you're level like 92, 3, 4 or something like that, and you attempt Ether and Exarch. The only changes I did to the build since last time were the flasks. They're still not the best, but at least they're quality and automated with the craft used when charges reach full. And another change was a cluster setup. This is pretty big damage. It's like I don't even know, maybe 40% more damage or something like that, 30-40% more damage. The jewels I use over here are just ones that I thrown some chaos orbs right now, so they're nowhere near perfect. Like all the jewels in the build are, if I can call them, they're bad. You would want attack speed with bows, attack speed, life, dot multi, anything else but what we have here. So yeah, this is how the build is. As I was saying, in my opinion, it's totally doable. And now let's talk quickly about some future upgrades. What I'm planning to get while farming tier 16s. Well, first of all, I will want 2 Ventors. We will need to watch our resistances, so that's gonna be the main focus at the beginning. Just resistances and like a bit of quantity over 5, 6, and rarity maybe over 20, 30. If you can get them under a divine niche for some chaos, that would be amazing. And after that, get a divination distillate. I will use it at the beginning instead of a topaz flask. We'll see where I get from there. As an amulet, if you can get one with quantity or rarity and damage over time multiplier, use that. Other 2 very good options, but these are from later on, will be Ashes of the Stars or Defiance of Destiny. Or of course the other amulet, these ones over here, like the replica dragonflies. If you can get one with +2 toxic rain, that would be kind of a huge damage increase. Also, for the flask slot, before the usual nerfed but still good Headhunter or Mage Blood, or the new uber unique flask, which is gonna be amazing also. This is another option, a rare Stygian wise with blast charges gain, blast effect duration, high life, some resist, stuff like that. So you can get another jewel in it too. For helmet, you will want eventually something like this, or even better, with life, rarity, chaos res, feast taken as, all this juicy stuff. For gloves, you will want to add chaos res to your build, so yeah, the helmet and the gloves are the 2 slots we are able to do it on. So this is a pretty good pair of gloves. It's not perfect again, but it's decent, so yeah, that's a pretty good upgrade. For chests, well, I had them. You will not need them. 6 link, but something with reduced damage from crits, with life, with some extra projectiles or extra AoE gems or +1 skills or anything like that would work. But they would work until you get this combo. Like, this is far later into the end game. Like, this is a quiver that we are aiming for, but you don't really need it with these good rolls. These were on my other character that I just stripped because I wanted to show you guys this quiver. So we will want something like this to replace this nonsense over here. And yeah, whenever you can get quiver with tier 1 or 2 rolls like this one, you can swap over to Widow Hail. Now, another bow bit in between the Widow Hail and this one over here is a Hunter bow, one of those bows which is typically for Chaos builds. Is the one with the +2 to support gems and chaos damage and damage over time and damage over time multi, and it's crafted. It's usually around 10-12 divines at league start. So yeah, one of those bows is the next upgrade after this one, and then we're gonna in the end game switch to a Widow Hail, but only if we get a pretty good quiver first. Okay, if you will want to see how I will manage to get all this gear on a fresh new league start, just feel free to come over here to YouTube. I will be streaming live here. You can catch me on the live channels, and yeah, I will be doing updates as I usually do at league start. Well, time to go now and figure out some Atlas passives, because yeah, that's the next thing we are gonna work on while preparing for this league. Hey, that being said, I hope you guys will have an amazing league start, and you know, wish you all the best. Keep walking, exiles. The next map awaits you.